Happy Monday! Happy Motivational Monday, everybody. Come on in. My goodness, my hair. Ah! Come on in. Let's see who's here. Hello, Catherine. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. It's good to see you. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everyone. Here come the peoples. Here come the peoples. Tracy's in the house. Hi, Tracy. I'm happy you're here too, Catherine. Come on in. Got all my little things sitting here. I've got so much going on right next to my, from sleeveless tanks to flannel. Keeps me wondering. Well, it's a little cooler this morning is what it is. Yesterday, we were in the 80s all weekend, and now it's just a little cooler. It's in the low 60s. I'm just a little chilly. And I like keeping you wondering what's going on. So I have them kind of rolled up a little bit. This is my very favorite flannel shirt. You've probably seen me in it about 8 million times. Hello, Joanne and Penny. Good morning from New Mexico. You know, it's one of the states I have not been to. I have been almost everywhere else. Hi, Joan. Good to see you. Got a lot of gals coming in. Come on in. We are keeping it real here. Keeping it real. Who else is here? I'm looking for my lunch buddy. Oh, you are the sweetest thing ever, Catherine. You are the sweetest thing. I'm trying to get my flavor down. You know, I had it, you know, you have everything wired for sound and then then everything changes. This is our new hot melt mix, and it has kind of an orange creamsicle color taste. Hi, Trisha and Margot. Margot's our newest Take Back Your Life gal. She's lovely. And thank you for sending me that SBA thingy today, too, by the way. I said thank you, but I filled it out. Let's see what happens, you know? That would be really nice. I'd love the government to do something for us. We pay our taxes, for heaven's sakes. It'd be nice to get a little something back, you know? How is everyone today? How was your weekend? Are you glad to be hunkering down for another week or so? Tracy said she signed up for Full Bloom. Yay! We just sent the email out for Full Bloom. If you want to find out about Full Bloom, it's really easy. Go to savingdinner.com/bloom and you can find out about it. We are going to have a virtual event. We can't do it in person. So we're going to have a virtual event. And everybody who was already signed up and was going to be coming anyway to the real one, well, you know, you've got the ticket, so you can come on in. Wasn't the pajama party fun, Catherine? Hi, Helen. Hi, Amy. We had a good time. We had a pajama party. It was great. And we're having a cooking party today, too. I don't know what I'm cooking yet, but I promise you if you show up, oh, I know what I'm cooking. I do know what I'm cooking. I'm going to be making kind of the smothered burgers that we have, the mushroom smothered burgers, like the hot melt burgers. Probably going to be doing it a little different. I'm going to be doing it completely without a recipe because that's what we do. We are going to have another pajama party, I'm telling you. I think we're going to have pajama parties till everywhere. But I'm going to do the mushroom burger. I'm going to explain the whole art of the sauté because that's so critical. And those mushroom burgers are to die for. So those are just delicious. Everybody's got hamburger. And even if you don't have mushrooms, you can still do it with onions, and you can turn it kind of into a hamburger sauce with steak with sauce. Come on, who doesn't like that? So anyway, I just wanted to let you know so you missed, oh man, Tracy missed Saturday. She had a pollen attack. Yeah, the pollen is kind of going, you know, and of course in this time when we get a little sore throat or a little sniffly, we're kind of going, ah! But I mean, it's this time of year. We have tons and tons of pollen. So this helps because my husband will have to pick up groceries. Fresh mushrooms, put it on there. Yes, indeed. Put them on there. And get onions. You guys buy extra onions. We're finding that the onions just aren't lasting long enough. And, I just say get the extra, get a little extra. Keep them cold and or cool, like put them on the garage floor or whatever, but just keep them coolish. Don't put them in the refrigerator. Fresh is fantastic. And you know what? We can even if you have canned mushrooms, which is an abomination, you can drain those and saute them up too. A little garlic and lots of butter, and everything works. But I'll be explaining everything to you and how to make this whole thing work together. It's going to be fun. I love these mushroom burgers. And if you've been in Hot Melt, if you've been a part of the Hot Melt Sprint, then you know how delicious these are. And by the way, that sprint is coming up. What's the date on that? I know that somebody can put the date out there. It's April 9th. Is that the date? Or April 4th, I think? I'm not sure. But it's April. I don't know. I will tell you right now. Hold on. Promise. It's here. April 6th is the date. April 6th. So you'll want to put that on your calendar. And we're doing kind of a lazy, halfway there, not quite halfway there sprint right now. Just kind of a pop-up sprint in the sprint group if you're a part of that. So come on down and you can join us on that. And basically the whole thing is just like, let's keep to, well, you know the rules. If you're a part of the sprint, you know the rules. Do what you can with what you got. That's the whole thing, right? And go to savingdinner.com. You'll see the sprint. It's right there. Grab a copy of it, and all the recipes are there. And as a matter of fact, today when I make the mushroom burgers, which you will love, the recipes are all there too. So you can pick that up. Our quote of the week. I mean, sometimes I just find these quotes and you just go, wow, that's kind of timely. And this is from somebody who passed away a good 10 years ago. This is from our friend Wayne Dyer, who I love. And he says, you cannot always control what happens outside, but you can always control what happens inside. Right? Isn't that the truth? We talked about this a little bit on I think the pajama party. We've been talking about this really all weekend. And I'm going to talk about it in a little bit too, to you, those of you who would consider yourselves empaths, where you're empathetic and you have a lot of empathy and you think about other people and your heart opens to others. And this kind of sensitivity is basically a higher level of emotional IQ, really, as long as you have boundaries in place. And we'll talk about that today. That's what our whole thing is. I was talking about that today. Ships free. Okay, so I've got something for you. You guys are going to love this. So, if you go to, if you want to order, first of all, those of you who are continuing to order from us, bless you. And we are running a ragtag show right here, right now. We are just winging it and waiting for all of our supply to come in because, this is just the way the world is operating right now. We have stuff on the way. We are getting stuff delivered today. We're getting Perfect Paleo Protein chocolate and Fiber Mender delivered. SAME came in on Saturday, and we still have a few assorted things. Like, for example, if you're looking for the Get Lean Probiotic, or wait a minute, is that right? Probiotic. We have some probiotic in there. We have some SAME. We have glycozyme. We have some InflaCrusher. I thought we were out. I'm out. I'm going to go get one. There's some InflaCrusher as well. We have some Get Lean CLA. That stuff is thebomb.com, and you will want that. So go grab that. And we have a couple of digestive enzymes left, and we have some Crave Crusher as well. So definitely go take a spin around the block and go check out what we have and grab what looks good to you, because you guys keep us in business, and I appreciate that. Speaking of, if you want to keep supporting Saving Dinner, we have lowered the price of our dinner answers. It's a proprietary program. Every single week, we give you recipes, shopping lists, menus for the week, however it is that you eat. If you're a vegan, vegetarian, paleo, keto, low carb, family friendly, I don't care. However it is that you eat, we deliver custom menus. You can edit them. You can do whatever you want with them. You can create your own custom menu, and it gives you an edited shopping list every single time for however many people you need. It's a fantastic tool, and it's at your disposal. You have access to my entire database of recipes. Isn't that great? It's $10 a month usually, but right now, for a limited time, it's $7 a month. And I want you to be able to get this. So grab it, and this is how you support us. Because I've had people asking me if we had a Patreon account or some way that they could support us. Well, we don't have any of that. But I do have dinner answers, and I will give you something in return. So that's the way that you can support us, is becoming a supporter. All right. Now I have something to tell you that is fantastic. Okay, you ready for this? We found downstairs, we found a whole box full of perfect paleo protein, unflavored. Okay, now the unflavored has no sweetener, no nothing. And if you are somebody who is AIP and you need to have that unflavored and you can't have any sweetener whatsoever, this is the thing for you. And we have a whole box of it. Now, if you want it and you're waiting on, you want to get a vanilla or you want to get a chocolate or whatever, I'm going to show you what to do in order to make it exactly what you want. Well, first of all, if you want chocolate, there's this stuff, Navita's cacao powder. Okay, I love this. It's organic cacao powder. And it's just, the way that they keep all the antioxidants in place. They don't, because of the way that they do it, they don't heat it too hard, and they don't use a bunch of chemicals to extract it and stuff. The problem with a lot of food is just the way that they handle it. Well, not this Navitas. It's really good stuff. And then if you want to take it a next step up, get the organic cacao chip nibs. They taste like chocolate chips. So when I use this unflavored, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you my recipe. This, 1 scoop of this, I do 3 drops of some liquid stevia, or you can use, I've got another stevia extract. This is just stuff that I've gotten from Trader Joe's. I'll use a half a packet of that. And then I'll put a tablespoon of this, a tablespoon of that. You got a chocolate chip, rich chocolate chip smoothie. Am I giving you like the best news ever? It's incredible. Or if you just want to get it simple and plain, you can use a vanilla. This is my vanilla extract that I've had forever and ever. Amen. I add a whole teaspoon and a half of this, and then the same amount of sweetener, just sweeten to taste. And it works really well, and you get the benefit of the collagen and all that collagen loading. Don't you love stuff like that? Now, if you order our unflavored collagen, which is the unflavored perfect paleo protein, we will send it to you free. So fill up your cart with everything. Put ships free in the little promo window when you go to check out, and you can add the CLA. You could add all the stuff that all the stuff that I was telling you about? You could add some SAMe, you can add some InflaCrusher, you can add the Get Lean CLA, you can even add some digestive enzymes. We've got all the stuff. So those are the things that we have. Go check it out. And remember, ships free is your code. So we will ship it to you free. And believe me, we'll get it out today. You'll get it in no time. If you order $250 worth, I'll send you a mindful mug as well. Wouldn't that be a cool thing to get? All right. So how is everyone doing? Really? Seriously, how are you doing? My empathetic heart wants to attach to your empathetic heart. Because that's one of the things that I've noticed with all these professionals and leaders and everybody else getting on TV. It's the empathy is missing. There's a big thing. I know that there's, but there's a big bunch of numbers, but these numbers represent people. And when I see this and I watch this and I hear it, I kind of cry a little bit inside, because this is somebody's family that is crushed because they lost a loved one. And so when we are empathetic souls and we have high sensitivity and we feel what all the feelings, all the feels, and we do. A lot of us do, don't we? We just feel like this is just so awful. And again, we go back to what can we control and what are we focusing on? Because what we can focus on are the things that we can control. We can't control those numbers outside of us. There's so many things we can't control. But when our empathy is really hitting us in the face, we also need to be looking. We need to be looking at where we have to set our boundaries. And one of the boundaries is that, and this is especially true for empaths, you have to set your boundaries on watching too much news. Too much news is just going to put you over. It's going to put anybody over the edge, but especially an empath. You're going to lay in bed at night and you're going to be thinking about that. And you're going to be thinking about their families. When I was a little girl, I remember this really well. You know, I remember this is my brother who is also an empath. And we had come home from summer camp. And my brother brought this little baby frog home that he shouldn't have. After the camp counselor said, leave everybody here. You know, they have families, this, that, and the other thing. And my brother was just super upset about this whole thing. And my mom said, he was like, bottom lip trembling and everything. And my mom, he finally confessed to my mom that he brought this baby frog home. And my mom said, well, we've got to let him go. And he said, we can't. His family is up there, pointing to where, we came from, this little creek and, whatever. I don't even remember where it was, to be honest, but it was just some big park where there were creatures and critters. And we were told as kids, I remember this because we were all together, leave the animals alone. Don't take anything home. Leave them all here. They all have families that they're going to go home to. And so my brother, of course, took one. And when he came home and felt awful, he had a meltdown. And that's an empath at work. We feel things. And he felt the sorrow of taking this, little animal away from its mother. It wasn't until later. But this is how it is. This is how it is. We have that. The struggle is real. And we need to be honoring. And I think part of our empathy is to be honoring to every creature out there and every animal, every person, every country, every number that's out there that represents a family. And what can we do about it? We can always pray for them. We can pray without ceasing. The Bible tells us as much. And this is our only thing that we have to do and be in control of. And it does, I just saw what Diane said, it does throw us out of alignment because our empathy is just, it's right there. And that's part of our beautiful self, though. And I want you to honor your beautiful self. Your beautiful self houses your intuition, the Holy Spirit, your knowing, and your big, beautiful, empathetic heart. That's what it houses. And when we develop this, we feel things, Have you ever had a friend who you thought they just don't have an ounce of empathy? And you say something and you're just practically crying and they're saying, well, get over it. You just pull up your bootstraps and just get, over it. That's never the solution. And I feel sorry for a woman like that because a woman like that has hardened her heart and doesn't feel what's going on. So I think it was, I don't know who was saying, but somebody was saying about the homeless. I was thinking about the homeless. I was thinking about those who are in prison. I was thinking about the immigrants that are in those detention camps. I was thinking about all of them. They're all in this cloister of not being physically distanced from each other. And it's, what's happening. And they're away from their families. And just imagine how awful that is. I don't think that we need to change who we are. I don't think we need to change who we are. I think we need to change what we do. And that is instead of focusing and crying and just wailing and, taking to social media and talking about how awful this is and finding all the stuff to support it and all of the rest of it, we have to go to our prayer closets. We do, because that is the place where there's an impact. And I know that for all of us, we know that those are numbers. We know those numbers represent people. But we also know that we cannot go out there and personally go work in those hospitals in New York City. We can't go out and do one thing. What we can do is we can turn inward, we can pray for them, and we can be loving and supportive of anybody that we can. I told you I think it was on Saturday, that there's a group called IntelliHelp right here on Facebook, and it's a national thing. And you can help somebody in your own neighborhood. And I think empaths are especially prone to want to help and want to do. And empaths have a tendency to over volunteer too. Am I right? I did. But what we need to do is we need to pray. We need to help what we can and do what we can. And maybe there's groceries we can take to somebody, and maybe get involved in doing something that's going to help somebody else out in our own very limited ways. That makes all the things, everything different. That changes the whole that changes your perspective. It changes somebody else's perspective, and it keeps us from, overly emoting and basically losing our way. And I don't want you to change to accommodate anybody. I don't want you to stop being empathetic. I want you to treasure your empathy. Your empathy is a superpower. Your empathy is beautiful. Your empathy is what this world needs more of. But also be a little bit guarded so that you can keep your energy directed into the paths that are wise. I mean, this is what wise women do. Wise women just take a look and see, where can I be most effective? How can I do this? This is where we pull back and we're analytical so we can, be of use. We have a little group here on Facebook called We Are Brevard, because I live here in Brevard. And there are so many, the thing that has been so heartening to me, and find something that's very community oriented. That's, obviously we have our community with our Hot Melt Sprint group and Take Back Your Life and Hot Melt Club and all of that. But we also have our own distinct physical communities. See if your community has something online, on Facebook especially, because we're already there, right? Why not take advantage of that? So in We Are Brevard, we had a woman who posted, and she said, I come up on the summer, but my grandmother or my mother, I can't even remember, lives there full time, and I need somebody to get her groceries. I need a CNA to go over there and to help, bathe her, and the people came out of the woodwork. And I was so heartened by that, because the empaths were storming the gates. There are still things that we can do, and there are still ways that we can help. But I'm just telling you, I'm asking you, I'm begging you not to turn off your empathy and get hardened. And we all know what it feels like to try to say something to somebody and try to get some empathy out of them, and it's just not there. Avoid that like the plague, because it's talking to somebody who just keeps telling you, well, it's going to be okay. Well, don't listen to this, or turn off the news and stop doing this and don't do that. There's no love there. That's not kind. How are you doing? Reaching out. How are you feeling? Because that's what empaths do. They connect heart to heart. And you connecting heart to heart as best you can with the people around you, the people that you're in touch with, that's your humanness coming out. That is to be honored. That is to be exalted even, because there's not enough of that right now. And like I said, you do not need to change yourself. You just need to be a little bit guarded and not over give, not over volunteer, not over fill in the blank. But keep that empathy in place. It is a beautiful thing, and I honor it. And I'm so grateful that you have that in your heart. And I know who you are. I see you all the time, encouraging and posting and being that person with that great big beautiful self just showing in our groups. It's a great thing. And then I want you to also take a look. If you're in a back and forth kind of a relationship with somebody who is just, uh, they're frustrating you, and they're making you feel sad and making you doubt yourself and whatever, maybe it's time to take a little temporary, right now anyway, time out and just say, you know what, I just don't need to be doing that because they make me feel bad and make me feel bad about myself or whatever. And it's not like they make you feel bad, but it's, it's always a choice on how you feel, right? But if it's not feeling good, then it's time to push back a little bit and just take a little time out. Wait till this is all over and then reconnect. And then maybe this is the time that you can have a long journaling time to really think about, is this a friendship that I want to continue? Is this person really of benefit in my life? And am I of benefit of theirs? Or are they just a taker? Or do they not have that thing, that yummy empathy and connection that we all need? It's worth taking a look at. We've got the time to do it. Now's the time to do it, right? Because sometimes it's just, it's a one-way street with this kind of stuff. And it happens to us who are empaths. And then you've also got to figure out, like, what is the drain? Where is it? What's pulling on your emotions right now? What is taking away from you? And I mean, obviously the news. I mean, I can just say that that's everybody, not even, even people who aren't empaths, but most of us are. And for us, a lot of it's the news, or people sending you messages, or it's the constant, looking at the counts and all of that. But figure out what the drain is, and then remove yourself from what the drain is, because you don't need that. If there's, if you've got somebody in your home, for example, playing music endlessly, and you're just like, I just need a timeout, go get them a headset, order them a headset on Amazon or something. If it's just, you feel overburdened at home and you're not getting the help that you need, then have a sit down one-on-one and do it in your empathetic style of like, I just want to share with you where I am right now. I've got all of this to do. I'm working from home, and we've got kids, we've got this, and share with your partner and get down to brass tacks of what it is that you need. If you don't express your needs, you're not going to usually get them fulfilled. Have you noticed how that works? I certainly have. And the last thing I'm going to say to you is this. Please take time for yourself. Take time in the morning to meditate, to go into your prayer closet, to journal, to read. You read your Bible, read inspirational books, and fill yourself and your heart and your soul and your mind with beautiful things. This is what recharges us, you guys. You oftentimes hear about this whole extrovert, introvert things, whatever. And I will tell you, I don't see it that way. I see it as what do human beings need to recharge their souls so they can be of service, so they can love more, so they can be overflowing and abundant creatures here on this earth. That's what I want to be. I want to be overflowing and abundant. And I can't do that if I'm not recharging. Your self-care right now is critical. I'm going to tell you what, I don't know when we're going to do it, but we are going to have another pajama party, and we're going to do facial masks. I want everybody to show up with a facial mask on. I don't care if you have to put egg whites on your face and you have nothing else in the house. We're going to do that. We're going to learn self-care. We're going to make self-care lists, but this is what we need. This is how we feed our souls, feed our empathy, so that we can spill out and over and be abundant. Can you imagine if the world were like you, doing this and spilling out and sharing and caring like this? And Catherine says, and wine, Catherine, and wine. I don't want to stop being who I am. I don't want you to stop being who you are either. But I also recognize that right now, this is a time for some pretty heightened sensitivity, and that without careful guards and boundaries around our beautiful selves, we could get sucked in and sucked down. And I don't want that for you. So let's keep ourselves Let's keep ourselves uplifted. Let's keep our eyes on the one who has his eyes on us. And remember that we are daughters of a king, and that we have the ability to jump right into his lap and tell him every single thing that's on our heart. And remember this too, that who you are is a beautiful, beautiful person. And that being who you are with all of your heightened sensitivity and your emotionalism and all of it is a beautiful thing. Just keep a little bit of a guard and a little bit of a boundary around it, because, without saying, if you're not saying what your needs are, if you're not expressing what it is that you need from others in a way that's uplifting and caring about them as well, and expressing yourself as not, you do this to me, but instead, this is what I need, then we're going to get what we need, and things are going to start to smooth out a little bit. We still have some rough seas ahead of us, guys. We do. We certainly do. But we have this. We were put in this situation at exactly this time for whatever reason. And, out of this, start searching for a purpose. Start searching for your purpose. And start looking for the evidence that supports that, because this is how it works. And we got some pinkies up on that one. I love it when you guys do this. Pinkies up. We have got this. We have got this, and we've got each other. We've got our communities, and we've got our great, big, beautiful selves. And it's to be honored, it's to be trusted, and it's to be slightly protected. Okay? Let's keep that in mind. And I hope that I will see you at 4 o'clock Eastern. Pinkies up, Joanne. For our cooking lesson. And I'm going to do burgers with some mushrooms smothered all over them. And I am telling you, this is as good as a steak. Wait till you see how I do it. And no recipe. All I need you to do is to show up. And if you've got hamburger and you've got mushrooms, save it for today. Okay? Save it for today. Go get that hamburger thawed. We're going to have a cooking lesson. It's going to be fun. You guys are the best, and I love you. Hold tight. We've got this. Bye. Peace.